Welcome to the Game Plan. I'm Logan Paulson. Today's episode of the Game Plan was taped prior to the news that Adam Peters was going to be signing on as GM, and as a result, we will not be talking about that directly in this show. However, we got a ton of great insight from Fred Smoot, Santana Moss, London Fletcher makes an appearance about what we're looking for with the new coaching hire. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And for more information on the coaching vacancy and the Adam Peters hiring, please stay tuned to all Commanders' social media channels. Coming up on the Game Plan, the Ron Rivera era in Washington is over. We'll look at what the Commanders' new head coach will be inheriting and what to expect in what will be a busy offseason for the team. My Command Center buddies London Fletcher, Santana Moss, and Fred Smoot will join me to break down some of the game tape of guys who could be making an impact next season. And Chick Hernandez and Brian Mitchell stop by to talk about what the team should be looking for during its search for a new head coach. It's the Game Plan for the offseason. It starts right now. The Game Plan is brought to you by your local Washington area Honda dealers. Visit your local Washington area Honda dealer today to see our sleek Accord Hybrid or versatile CR-V Hybrid. Contact your local Washington area Honda dealer today for a great deal on the Honda for you. And by the Maryland Lottery Fast Play Games. Play fast, win fast today. Please play responsibly. Big news for the Commanders this week. Head coach Ron Rivera and the team are parting ways after 4 seasons. The move was made on Monday after Washington finished the season with a record of 4-13. The search is now on for a new head coach and head of football operations. Here's a look at the committee who will be conducting the search to hire a new head of football operations and head coach. Managing partner Josh Harris, limiting partners Mitchell Rales, David Blitzer, and Irvin Magic Johnson, former Minnesota Vikings general manager Rick Spielman, and the man who helped build the dynasty with the Golden State Warriors, Bob Myers. Welcome on into the Game Plan. I'm Logan Paulson here with London Fletcher, Santana Moss, and Fred Smoot. Guys, lots of big changes this week. One in particular. Obviously, the team's moving on from Ron Rivera.
Yes.
High-level thoughts on that.
Yep.
So let's start with London.
Up, London.
Yeah. You're the oldest one. You can go first.
Yeah, most definitely.
Let's go beauty before age. As you look at this, obviously, you hate to see Coach Rivera lose his job, but this is a situation now. Who are you going to bring in to be the new head coach of this team in 2024? I want to see a great leader of men. Mm-hmm. I've seen some of the lists that's come out so far. I've been extremely impressed with the candidates that they've, acquired and asked to interview for this head coaching position.
Yeah, I was here 10 years, and I had 4 different head coaches coming here, and it was always that same feeling as a player, not knowing what's coming. You know what I mean? You don't know what's going to happen. So, being a guy now with this seat, I just want to see a guy that's going to come in here, man, and be a great guy. He's going to have those guys gravitate to, what he's trying to get from them out there on the football field. And I'm sure it's a lot of guys out there that can fit that job.
First of all, thanks, Coach. Thanks for your 4 years. You came in a situation that most people would not even accept it. You did the best you could. You kicked cancer in the butt. But like you said, moving forward, the guy that we got to get to replace him, like I said, I want a guy about the X's and O's, but I just truly want somebody that can galvanize a locker room. I want somebody to have, like we had with Coach Gibbs, that granddaddy effect where I'll run through a wall for you. You ain't got to do nothing but X me twice. I just think right now, in my eyes, out of all the open jobs in the NFL, this to me is the best job available.
Yeah, it's an extremely appetizing job, right? We got a lot of draft capital, a lot of cap space, all those things that are really important to building a team. But, we talked about coaches, right?
Yeah.
What makes that coach? And I know a lot of people say, I want an offensive-minded coach, Fletch. How do you feel about people that say that? Does it matter to you? I mean, you mentioned leaders of men.
Yeah, I think right now why you see more people talking about, hey, they want an offensive guy, because that's kind of the trend right now. Those are the guys, the young, innovative offensive minds. I don't think it's as important. You look at a guy like John Harbaugh. Yeah. He's a special teams guy. Yeah. D'Amico Ryans, what he was able to do, defensive guy. So I'm not so concerned about does he come from the offensive side of the ball, defensive side of the ball. I want him to had performed at a great level, at a high level in his previous position. Mm-hmm. But I think it's also about the assistant coaches and the other coaches that they bring with them.
Yeah. I mean, you hit it on the head again. I mean, it's just one of those guys that eat, sleep, and football. Yep. I just want a guy who's going to be all about football, getting the right guys in here. I don't care about the size of what he does. Well, I do believe that, when you do get an offensive guy, then you have to worry about going and get that coordinator and worry about that coordinator leaving here. So I do believe in that. But, man, I just need a guy who's going to come in here and help us win.
Well, guys, thanks so much for joining me. Lots of big decisions still to come and still to talk about. Let's take a look at the Commanders Spotlight presented by Northwest Federal Credit Union, the official credit union of the Washington Commanders. The spotlight is on our guy, Terry McLaurin. Scary Terry put up 1,000 yards again this season, a feat he's been able to accomplish his last 4 seasons. He's a piece on offense that any head coach would want. For more on Terry and some other impact players, let's head into the film room. It's presented by the Mailer and Lottery Fast Play Games. Play fast, win fast today. Please play responsibly. All right, guys, talked a lot about the head coach, but this roster's full of talent, right?
Yeah.
Got a lot of pieces we're really excited about. Tana, one guy that is always exciting is this guy, Terry McLaurin, got to run a little bit of a deep post here, and we always talk about his ability to make these contested catches, Tana. Yep. It's not even a 50-50. It's like a 70-30 with him, right?
Yeah, when in doubt, man, throw it up to Terry, man.
Throw it up.
He finds a way to come down with the ball right then and there, man. He had a guy on the top, had a guy underneath. The other safety from the other side came over, and he still made the play, so. Great catch.
Making the quarterback right. So there might be a young quarterback in here next year. Really good tool to lean on. And Fletch, a guy that you get really excited about is this dude right here.
Love him.
Big, physical, great vision. We talk about deleveraging young quarterbacks, young football players. I don't know what's better than a strong run game.
Oh, yeah. Love B. Robin. His ability, even at a big back, to get through that crease, man. His feet.
He gets skinny.
His feet right there for a guy 6'3", 230 pounds. He has great feet, great vision, and that looks
and
like
some balance there.
Oh, man, balance.
Yeah, we got some
that's why you have to love B. Robin, what he brings to the table as a running back.
But it's more than that, right? He's got a skill set that's very unique, right? Because you mentioned how big he is, Fletch. And when he first got here, we're like, he's going to be that big sledgehammer. But this is a good choice route, Tana and Fletch. I mean, this is a linebacker lined up.
When I said Arian Foster at the beginning of the year, everybody looked at me like I was crazy. But as the year went on,
draft expert.
Thank you, Fred Kuiper.
Yeah. But yeah, great choice here, winning this one-on-one and getting into space.
Yeah. I mean, I like the way he lined the guy up. Like he came out, the guy was a little inside of him. And he stemmed into him.
And so Tana, you be the running back, I'm the linebacker.
Yeah.
You talk about.
Okay, so I come out wide and you in there.
Yes.
I can't just come across you because now you have the edge on me. So what he did was he saw he was in there, he lined him up, and then he did the move and got himself open.
Yeah,
so
and that's extremely difficult for a linebacker to cover that type of route.
And that great route running nuance from a guy who we didn't think had that. Soft hands, and then you always see the finish here. Like, guys, this young rookie right here is one of the best in the NFL, Witherspoon. Yeah. He wants no part of this big guy.
He look like Fred out there.
Preservation, my friend.
So we got the skill guys, right? But what about the offensive line? I mean, this guy just got better and better as the year went on. And this is a tough look, man. This is an odd front here. They've got the three guys inside. There's another guy out here. They're going to fan to this, right? His eyes are going to be over here, but watch what Cosby does here. He gets in his set, checks his guy. They drop that defender out. He says, now I got to find work. Let me get back over here.
Get out the club.
Yes.
Get out the club, right?
Get out the club.
He's checking IDs, right? Gotta love that.
And that's right there. You got a late blitzer from the secondary.
Second level.
Linebacker level. This is great. That's high level right there. And that allows Sam to step up and get this pass off.
Because that's definitely not his work, but that shows the kind of athlete and the kind of football mentality you have. And then the athleticism, right? He's got a head-up player right here. Watch the speed he can overtake this landmark with, get that taken care of, get to the second level. Easy work.
And I love that. So run that back.
Yeah.
So you talk about getting up here with the reach block and then working. So you got the combination block, work him, help seal, and then work and get that other block on the second on that linebacker.
A lot of speed by him, too, because the law firm, Warner and Greenlaw,
fast.
They are fast.
So great to see that from him. So we got the skill guys, but what about the defense? And this guy, Fred, we talked about guys that got better as the year went on, and you always said he's like Witherspoon. He's from that Illinois secondary.
Illinois, they were all taught to play the game physical, and they were all taught to read their keys and understand what to do. This right here, a lot of DBs don't like to get muddy and dirty right there, but that's a dog. We need to put a beware dog sign right there on his helmet. That's a dog. That's what you want. I don't just cover. I get in here and mix it up.
I like we got. See the vision here.
That's the
see the vision down. He's saying like, "What's up, man?" He's letting him know.
Ain't nothing like looking down on somebody. I had London like that a couple of times.
Boy, you never had me like that. Hey, you talking about the physicality, man.
But I think the main thing here is that now you got a guy who's physical, likes to tackle, but hey, that's Cooks in the slot right there. That's 4-3, Tana.
That's
legit 4-3. And watch him run with this guy. Watch the little subtle tug to stay in phase. That's big time ball.
Playing like a veteran.
You talk about the subtle phase. Not only that, so what I want you to do, run this back. Pause. Right here. We got a free safety in the middle of the field. That safety's going to be helped, so he starts with outside leverage on it. Starts with outside leverage.
Line up there, as
he runs that over route, Quan does a great job of doing what we call transferring. And watch him work, undercutting, get to the inside because now where's his help at? Where's the safety help?
On top of
the safety help is offside.
So it shows good football intelligence, good toughness, and good athleticism, right? And then we got the big dog, man. The big guy that you can kind of set your watch by that was pretty consistent this year, and that's Payne. His ability to beat the center one-on-one, get a TFL here, fantastic job. And when he got paid, he deserves that money, did a great job. Yeah. And again, the one thing I want to see more of is here he is lined up on the edge. It's only happened 1 or 2 times this year, but that's the type of athlete you're dealing with. Guy that can bully inside, guy that can bully outside. Very, very talented roster still, in addition to the draft capital that is coming this team's way, in addition to free agency. So new coach comes in, lots of cool pieces to build around. Can't wait to see what that's all about moving forward. If you guys love the game plan, you're going to love Command Center. This week we talked a lot about all the big changes. Fred, Santana, and myself, we give our insight on those topics. Make sure you check it out Thursdays on the Commanders YouTube channel. Don't go anywhere because when we come back, Chick Hernandez and Brian Mitchell stop by to discuss what they want to see from the Commanders during their search for a new head coach. That's next on the Game Plan, presented by your local Washington area Honda dealer. Welcome back. It's time for some healthy competition presented by Ortho Virginia, official orthopedic and sports medicine partner of the Washington Commanders. To review some healthy competition this offseason, here are some key dates for you. First off, we got the Senior Bowl. Get to see good on good, some of the nation's best college players going against each other before the draft. We got the NFL Combine, getting everybody's measurables. Who's the fastest guy in this upcoming draft? Can't wait to find out. And then we got the draft. What are we going to do with that second overall pick? Can't wait to find out. It's the season review presented by DC Prime, Loudoun's premier steakhouse. For dinner reservations or private dining, call 703-840-2099. Now here's my preseason broadcast teammates, Chick Hernandez and Brian Mitchell.
Logan, thank you. Good to see you, by the way. Good to see you, by the way.
You too, brother.
Yeah, it's been a while. Last game was the last preseason game.
Long time.
We're gearing up for another season, and it's going to be different. I've known you for a long time. We have been in this town for a long time.
Yes.
Let's start with the fact I'm sitting there with the Josh Harris press conference, and I'm going, wow, this makes sense.
Yes.
All of it makes sense. It's a human talking to me, and it is making complete sense. So from a guy who's played for this franchise to see what his plan is as he discusses it and is open about it, how did it hit you?
Well, it hit me and it made me happy. Let's just say it like that, because when I looked at it, I watched how things were going. You know, he's a decent guy, decent man. And then all of a sudden he came with what I expected. I expected him to come with a plan. And they put the plan out there, and the plan is basically what I grew up on.
Right.
My dad was in the military. So in my house, you knew the chain of command. And as I went through high school, college, that chain of command was there. And it always worked. When I got here, same thing.
Right.
And for some reason, it got mixed up. And I think what Josh basically sat there and stated is basically players are going to talk to coaches are going to talk to the head coach goes up to a GM or head of football operations, and football, they come talk to us. And that's how it should be.
Right.
Because once that gets out of tune, you're going to have people trying to go around, and it's causing a lot of confusion.
So the owner is talking with potential head of football operations down at his house in Miami. He has stated that's one job, head coach is another job. That was a dual role for Ron Rivera. This makes so much sense to me from the standpoint of that they'll be all on the same page, and there's some voices that can make a decision. And I think that's spectacular. We can't get into specific names, but there's a lot of guys, and this is an attractive destination with salary cap space, the number 2 pick, 6 picks in the first 102. Yeah. It's a huge opportunity.
It's a great opportunity, and I think whoever comes in, and what I've said the whole time I've spoken on this is Josh and his team are interviewing these people. Who am I or anybody else to say who they should hire?
Sure.
Or why somebody is not qualified. They're going to talk to them. They have a plan in their heads. Okay? Myers, Spillman, all these guys are going to come in, but ultimately they're going to come down with someone that fits the game plan they have. And if that person is not one of the top names, who cares?
Yeah.
My thing is, once they're in place, let's just see how things go. I've said to everyone since January 8th, this is when I consider the new era starting. I can judge things from that, and up to the point I'm at now, everything has been above what I expected. Okay, the things that happened before, it's all gone.
Sure.
And I think a lot of fans and a lot of people in the media also have not gotten to the point where they can stop thinking about what was.
Sure.
Let's look at what is. Rearview mirror and is rearview mirror here? Big windshield. The windshield, everything in front of us. The rearview mirror, looking behind. I'm done with the rearview mirror.
Look, I work obviously at USA 9, so I have to start looking for the stories and trying to find out the inside information. I will tell you that what I do like about this situation with the Harris Group is not a whole lot of leaking going on. It is zipped up.
Yes.
I mean, we sat at that press conference and we heard Spielman and Myers and went, what?
Yeah.
Obviously, there was a plan in place, right? And he wants to get head of football operations in before the head coach. He said it's going to be difficult because there's now, at this point, a lot of head coach vacancies in the league. But you like that plan going head of ops?
I love it.
Head coach?
I love it because, let's be real, there's a lot of egos and a lot of testosterone in professional football.
Really?
And if I'm chosen first and then you come behind me, whether you told me or not, I'm going to assume I'm top dog. And there's going to be some bumping heads. But if you put it in the right order, you still may have some bumping heads, but do you also understand who's the top guy?
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
And I think that's the ultimate thing. You should always have the guy who's going to pick the coach, who's going to be the guy first. It's crazy to pick a coach, then go get a head of football operations. It makes no sense. You need to have some level of understanding and trust. And when you do it the other way, nobody's going to trust anybody.
We got about 20 seconds. You're a former quarterback in college. You got the number 2 pick. Are you picking a quarterback? Draft's in April. Pick quarterback or somewhere else?
Quarterback. I've said it over and over again. The amount of money that was spent and the chance you have right now, you have to go out there and find the most important thing in football, and that is the quarterback.
And we'll see. There's a bunch of guys out there. Caleb Williams, local guy. Drake May, Jaden Daniels, who can move and do a lot of different things. We're going to see what that happens in April. But certainly, there's a plan in place. Very exciting to see. B. Mitch, I'm Chick. Logan, I'll send it back to you.
Brother.
It's time for your ticket to a dub, presented by SeatGeek, the official primary ticketing partner of the Washington Commanders. All right, guys, let's talk about a ticket to a dub, and we're talking about for the offseason, right? Josh Harris just got up and talked about the head of football ops and why that hire is so important. What are you guys looking for in that hire?
Culture over coaching when it comes to this. I think when this is the guy that molds and shapes the building, at the end of the day, he's the guy with the vision. He's the guy that's looking not just for this year, he's looking years and years into the future. He's the guy that sets the tone. That's what I want from that guy.
You know, it's one of those things when you're watching other teams that's been successful. You know, you watch the guys from down the street who we call our cousins. You watch the other guys in our division, and you say, I want what they got. You know, you find that guy that's going to basically be that guy, say, hey, we're gonna play this way. Regardless of who we bring in here, they're gonna have to fit what we do. So I want that. Then I also want that guy to also know that, you know, we also have to get a head coach. That maybe he might have the answer for that too. Or maybe he's already, you know, been in discussion with guys that's gonna be suitable for us to go out there and talk to. So I just want one of those guys that's gonna give us what we've been waiting on.
Yeah, and the head of football ops is so important because we got so much money to spend in free agency. We've got so much high draft capital and big decisions to make with that second overall pick. So huge decisions there. Let's talk about the head coach, Chaney. You already alluded to it, right? The relationship that those guys have is going to be really, really important. What are you looking for at that spot?
Well, one of the things that I talk about the most when it comes to these head coaches, I want that coach that's going to come in and demand your excellence. I want him to say, look, you can say what you want to say. I know it's hot outside, but guess what? We got on full.
No negotiation.
I understand they have rules and stuff like that, but I just want one of those coaches that's going to basically get the best out of his players. I'm not going to be sitting here talking about, well, we need a coach that's going to be a whisperer, do this. No, that coach that's going to say, hey, you here for a reason. Let's go out here and do what we do.
I want a coach that I don't care about you winning at the podium, before the game, after the game. I want you to win on the field.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, results. I want you to come in here. You got a clean slate protocol. You can come in here and get the free agents you want. You can draft the players you want. No excuses anymore. I want somebody that's all about the business of winning.
Yeah, business of winning, and I think relating to the players, Tana, you alluded to that, right? How important those relationships are in terms of kind of maximizing what your players do. And again, the X's and O's are important, but how do you motivate those guys to be the best version of themselves? Extremely important. That's going to do it for today, guys. Thanks so much for your time. Thank you so much for joining us on the Game Plan.